Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective, and today we're going to be reviewing Reasonable Doubt, Season 1, Episodes 7 and 8. I think Episode 7 is called N-Word What? N-Word Who? And Season 8, Episode 8 is Song Cry. And I'm thinking that this is, now that I'm putting it all together, I'm thinking that all of the names of the show and the title are related to Jay-Z's albums or songs that he's created, and or songs that he's created. So anyway, I just picked that up as I'm talking right now. So again, my name is Belle. This is the Belle Perspective. Today we're reviewing Reasonable Doubt. And before I get started, I'm just going to ask, like I typically do, for you all to subscribe to my channel, okay? This is a growing channel, and so I have a goal of reaching 50 subscribers pretty soon, and I'm almost there. I think I'm 6 people away from the 50, and so I know that's a small number to compare to so many other YouTube channels, but guess what? You got to start somewhere, okay? So go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell and get down in the comments, because that's really what I need. I need you to get in the comments and talk to me. Let me know what you think about the show. Let me know what you think about my commentary, and let's get started. So I'm going to mash up both episodes, right? I'm really going to talk about it. I'm not going to do scene by scene. I'm just going to hit the high points because it's an hour-long show and it's a lot of content, okay? And so I want to just mash it up real quick. So give you the highlights, let you know what's going on, and let you know what my thoughts are, okay? So where we left off, so episode 7, N-Word What? N-Word Who? Okay? So this is from Lewis's point of view. And so Lewis is getting up, he's taking a shower, he's doing all the things. There's a Meek Mill song in the background playing, and he's a video game designer. They finally confirmed. I figured that that's what he did from earlier seasons or earlier episodes, but they hadn't like said it. So today in this episode they said it. He's a video game designer, okay? So he's in at work, he's doing his thing, he actually goes to pick up the kids, he meets this Hoochie, okay? I don't know her name, but we're just gonna call her Hoochie from this point forward, okay? Hoochie, because that's who she is, okay? She's a pass around, okay? So she walks up to Lewis and she's basically like, listen, here's my number. I know you're going through a separation with Jax. And it seems like she's been like eyeing him for a minute. She's been waiting her turn. And so she finally is getting an opportunity. And that's why I'm calling her a hoochie, because I don't like that. Don't be waiting your turn. Don't be watching for my man. Don't be doing it. Don't be watching for my man like that. Don't be watching for us, okay? I don't like that, okay? Her daughter goes to the same school with their kids, and so they have the carpooling and all that stuff. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're too close to the circle for you to be pulling stunts and shows like this, okay? So anyway, during the trial, Fallon is on the stand, and right now the point of the defense, which Jax is the defense, is pretty much point the finger at everyone else except Braylon. Point the finger at Fallon. She points out that Fallon had an argument with Kalisha and slapped her. She pretty much throws Sarah, which is Brayden's wife, under the bus because they find out about the emails that Sarah sent to Kalisha. So basically what Jax's plan is right now is start pointing the finger and putting doubt in people's mind about Brayden, and that it could potentially be someone else that killed Kalisha, okay? So they find out Spencer forged his dad's signature because he got 2 D's in, I think, math, and so that's a whole thing. He's grounded, right? They have an issue with him. Her friend Autumn comes to Jax's friend Autumn comes to visit her while she's in the office, and she's talking to her about Damon. She's basically like, listen, friend, you know how your good girlfriend come to you and be like, girl, friend, listen, if you not trying to be for real about this man, you might want to leave him alone, friend. You might want to leave him be, friend. Because ain't nothing free, friend, right? And so Jax is like, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, friend, I hear you, friend. But, you know, like, I need a little vacation. He like vacation, babe. Like, girl. And in my mind, I'm like, girl, first of all, Michael Ealy character is always a side dude. Like, he always the side dude, no matter what we're doing. Michael Ealy gonna be the side dude, okay? He gonna be the side dude, okay? So, whatever. And then he has this crazy look in his eye. Now, Michael Ealy is a handsome man, but he have a crazed look in his eye. Like, he always look like, I could be a little deranged. Just a little. Like, he always give that. And he actually shows that in episode 8. Okay? So, they're hanging out. Jax is hanging out with Damon. And, they're sneaking off, doing the thing, right? In hotels and doing all this stuff. And Lewis ends up finding out about Damon because her friend Chanel, during a whole, I think one of the kids' birthday parties or something like that, Chanel walks up to Lewis and basically says, hey, you know, Lewis, Jax has a smile on her face. She looks refreshed. She looks happy. And I know that it's because of you. You know, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm glad to see that your marriage is working out. Now, good. Now, Lewis know that they marriage, they're on the rocks and they're not doing well and they're fighting back and forth. So he's trying to figure out who is making her smile. What's making her happy, right? So he goes to pick up the kid or drop the kids off or pick them up. And he talks to the babysitter. And the babysitter was like, he's like, where's Jax? He's telling this to the babysitter, and the babysitter was like, oh, I don't know. She went out to have tea with a friend, coffee with a friend, or something like that. She left an address in case of an emergency. Lewis gets the address and goes and sees Jax with Damon, and they're all canoodled up. Lewis gives a call just to see if she's gonna, like, you know, is she gonna answer to see what kind of relationship this is? She don't answer. And Lewis was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. At this point, he gets with the hoochie. Now, mind you, this hoochie is sleeping with Chanel's husband. Now, you know, Chanel's husband is Jay. He's the famous football player or whatever. He's that guy. She's sleeping with him. She's also now sleeping with Lewis. So she basically is the pass around. And she been wanting Lewis for a minute. And she finally getting her nails into him. Mind you, she was at the little kid's birthday party talking to both Jax and Chanel, knowing that she wanted to sleep and has slept with both of their husbands. That's how I got to cut you. I got, at that point, we got to fight. Run me that fade. Anyway, okay. So, in the trial, I'm going back between the personal, the drama, and the trial. So during the trial, we find out that there are an additional set of fingerprints on the murder weapon, but LAPD has failed to identify or run any tests on those fingerprints. Okay? Then you find out that the fingerprints aren't in the system, so that it's somebody that they wouldn't know. They don't know who that fingerprint is. So they find out that the LAPD has basically made it look like there weren't any other fingerprints in the crime scene, so they could pin it on Braden because that would be easier to do that. Okay, so and Jax ends up putting that out, right? There's an additional set of fingerprints. Those fingerprints were not added to the report. LAPD failed to put those fingerprints in there. They failed to test the fingerprints. And they did it on purpose so they can point their finger at Braden and make it an easy open and shut case. Okay? So now Jax is looking to figure out whose fingerprints are these. Which is something they should have been doing at the LAPD, but, you know, we already know how LAPD like to roll. Okay. So Theo is stealing the company from Braden, like right under his nose. And my entire time I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Braden, I don't know why you trust him with anything. He has never given me trustworthy man at all. Okay, Brayden walks into a boardroom meeting. Theo's in there. Now, mind you, Brayden's the one that owns the company. He's the one that started the company. Brayden is a black man. Okay, Brayden walks into his boardroom. Not one single black person on his board. Not one single black person. You mean to tell me you done let all these colorless people come up in your company, have all this say so, and then you get mad when they steal it from you? Like, baby, we could have told you that that's what was going to happen. Had you called me, I would have given you warning. But high key, he deserves it, okay? The way he is. So, Theo steals the company. He names himself interim CEO of Clout, okay? So then during this episode, so actually that's 7. Now I'm kind of going into 8. So 8 is that, again, Theo has named himself CEO of Clout. And 8 is flipping back and forth between Jax when she was a young girl and now. And so when Jax was a young girl, Paul was her stepfather. Now, Paul is a white man that her mother is was married to. They got a divorce, I think, for 10 years, and then they found their way back to each other. And there was always friction in the beginning of the show, and I was wondering what was going on. And so this episode actually explains what the problem is. Paul had been grooming her, doing inappropriate things with her. Like, he'll touch on her butt. There was one point where he really, like, went too far. I guess he got too drunk, went in her room, got in her bed, and was groping her chest. And so she ends up telling her mother, and her mother, he got to go, right? But she's all crying about it. What am I supposed to do now without Paul? It's like, girl, what? Like, he's scum. And now I see why Jax has the relationship that she has with her mother, because her mother is not standing up for her, and not protecting her. He told her mother the extent of what Paul was doing, because it was grooming. There was constant things that he was doing, grabbing her, roping her, touching her inappropriately, doing things that he had no business doing, to a child or a girl that's underage, and your stepdaughter at that. He's now in the hospital in episode 8 because of some health issues that he's got going on, and she's seeing that he grabs Naima's hand and holds it, and she's like, I'm not about to play with you. You're not about to do the same foolishness with my daughter. So she confronts him, and she says, this is what you did to me in the past. You were trying to groom me. And he says, that may be your truth, but that's not mine. Spoken like a true essayer, okay? And so he's trying to reach for the call button because I guess he needed help or needed something because he couldn't breathe, etc., etc. Jax grabs that thing and says, no, you basically gonna die tonight, okay? And he ends up flatlining. And I was here for every moment of that. Good for you, Jack. I think I did say Luis ends up sleeping with the hoochie because he finds out that Damon and Jax are fooling around, and he's like, okay, I'm finally finished with her. He calls his brother and says, I'm finally done with Jax. Period. Okay. Sarah accuses Brayden of R-ing, okay, Kalisha. And I'm looking like, why would you accuse your husband of that if he's not that type of man? Like, that's a serious accusation. If he's not capable of doing that, why would you even say that out of your mouth? So that gets my gears going. And so later on, Jax comes to visit Brayden, and Brayden tries to kiss her and is all up on her. And I feel like Brayden is looking for a black woman to comfort him. Like, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for a black woman to comfort him, but he wants to find fellowship with people who don't look like him. And he wants to be acknowledged and seen in these spaces, but he still wants to be able to get comfort from from black spaces. And it's just this weird relationship that he has with both elements, right? So what they decide to do, because Theo was not anyone that you can trust, they decide to try to get Theo's fingerprints. And the way that they do that is by having Rich, who's the other white dude who was really cool with Theo at first, but now he's like, oh, well, if Theo can steal the company from his best friend for over 20 years, I can't trust him. I'm like, why did you think that you could trust him in the first place? Especially with the foolishness that he was saying. But he was talking to your ego, your white male ego that's been bruised, and you liked what he was saying. So anyway, so Rich meets up with Theo. They're drinking, carrying on. They end up getting Theo's DNA to test it so that they can run it against the fingerprints that were not identified and were not included in the report in episode 7. And so Theo's was talking to Rich and basically was saying, listen, I know I'm not about to tell you anything because I know that you're working for Jax. So whatever scheme you think you're running, you're not getting it here. Little did he know, they just needed his DNA. Okay, so again, back to with the whole Brayden thing, when Sarah accused him of R-ing Kalisha, I was like, is he ours? Like, is he? Like, what? Anyway, when Jax was leaving from the hospital after having that confrontation, after confronting Paul, she calls, I don't know who she calls on the phone, but she was like, I figured out who did. I figured out who killed Kalisha. So we'll see what happens in episode 9. It's getting interesting now. I want to say the show was a slow build up, slow burn, but it's starting to get more interesting now. Again, I'm just wondering how they're going to sustain this. Like, is this going to be the only thing? Like, what? Are there going to be other murders that she's going to have to solve? Is she going to be like the black female Matlock or something? Like, I need to know how this is going to turn out. And I'm feeling like that might be the direction that they take it in. It might be, I don't know. But Matlock, he was solving a case every episode. Maybe every season she's solving a new case. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to go. Because the trial can't go on for long. Okay? So I don't know. Anyway, but I enjoyed the show. It's starting to pick up. I'm really liking it now. I want to see who killed the person, who did it. Finally, I love me a good whodunit. And baby, I'm still getting into this red. Do you see me? You see me? I'm still getting into this red. Okay, I'm focusing. Focus. All right. So anyway, again, my name is Belle. This has been the Belle Perspective. I appreciate you watching. And if you've watched all the way to the end of this video, you might as well go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. You might as well. You already here. Okay? So, yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments about Reasonable Doubt. What do you think about that hoochie? Because she can get these hands. Do you hear me? Don't be checking on my husband. Don't check my husband. Don't check for my husband. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Anyway, so let me know what you think about the show. Let me know what you think about Brayden, Jax, the LAPD, like everything. Just let me know. Let me know. We can get down in the comments and talk about it later. All right? Thank you so much for watching, and you take care.